I didn't want to be that guy about this game. Everyone's enjoying it. It's a great step forward for the franchise. I really thought I wasn't gonna do this video, but here we are. Look, this isn't just about the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, not including the substantial new content I was hoping for. Okay, it's mostly about that. But I also realized something really major about why this is an unfortunate choice by the developers, and it may not be what you think. So, whether you agree or disagree with my stance on this game, I encourage you to sit back, relax, and listen to what I have to say before arguing in the comments. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on Nintendo Switch did make a lot of changes from the original GameCube version, and did include some, albeit few, additions that weren't present in the original game. Besides graphical changes, there are a lot of quality of life changes to the game, such as a revamp to the fast travel pipe system in Rogueport sewers, and a larger amount of pipes and trampolines that make backtracking a little less tedious. Then there's stuff like the partner wheel, making storing and taking out items at the shop faster, and more cutscene skipping opportunities. Also, the Pianta Parlor slot machines have been replaced with a matching game, though this was only changed because it would have negatively impacted the age rating, similar to what happened with Pokemon in its Game Corner. If you're curious to hear more about how Pokemon dealt with its slot machines, I also did a video on that. But these additions aren't new content, they're just changes to previous content. In the realm of new content, I'll start by talking about the two new supporting characters, the Battle Master and Ian Fumus. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The Battle Master allows you to practice your attacks and guards, and also gives some free advice on battles. Ian Fumus can give you some tips about how you can complete your current trouble, which is this game's version of side quest. Battle Master is a cool inclusion, and even slightly contributes to 100% completion because his Goom boards contribute to the final tattle log. The Treble Mouse is kinda whatever. I like his existence, but he doesn't solve the main design flaw of the Trouble Center. If you're interested in exploring that design flaw, check out my video on the Trouble Center. These two characters are more so substantial just because they are redesigned Mario characters. The first time Paper Mario has seen such characters since Stickersar decided plain red toads are all we need. And now let's get to the new endgame content. The new super bosses, Prince Mush and Waka. I'll start with the positives. It's really cool that you can battle these characters. Prince Mush is hyped up as this powerful fighter, so to see him in action is amazing. Poor Waka has been getting smacked by Mario for decades now, so it's funny to see him attempt some well-deserved vengeance. The way you trigger these boss battles is a little meh. In order to fight Mush, you have to complete Jolene's side quest where you pick up all these dirty pants, and then after some time passes, you'll receive an email from Mush challenging you to a fight. Mush is basically just crowbarred into the game. He's just kind of like, yeah, come fight me, I guess. The Jolene quest is something that was already in the original, and it isn't even related to Prince Mush. Then there's Waka, who is located at the bottom of the Pit of 100 Trials if you've already completed it once before and beaten the game. Hey, future me here. So I wrote and recorded this before I attempted to fight Waka myself. Turns out, to get Waka to appear at the bottom of the Pit of 100 Trials, you need to smack him over and over again on Keel Hall Key until he stops returning. Then, similar to Prince Mush, you get an email that informs you of his presence. So yeah, I basically went through the second half of the Pit of 100 Trials all for nothing. I didn't end up getting to fight Waka, and I just don't have it in me to do it again. It's such a grind. The Pit of 100 Trials is this pit where you take on around 91 trials. Yeah, I don't know why it's called that either. The main challenge of the pit is that you can only save before entering floor 1. So if Mario falls at any point in the labyrinth, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. It's a great culmination of the game's battle system into an intense gauntlet of increasingly threatening enemies, culminating in an intense boss battle against Bone Tail, a 200 HP skeletal dragon. Then, to fight Waka, we just do the pit again. but this time with a funny boss instead of a scary one. The second time isn't as bad or tedious as the first. When you're going down the pit again, you can skip the first 50 floors by paying this little bug guy 300 coins. The last 50 floors are nothing special though, because it's the exact enemies you already fought. In fact, this time it's even easier because you're gonna have a larger level advantage from beating it the first time. Just like Prince Mush, Waka is crowbarred into the game. Could they have at least put in a new Pit of Trials with new enemies? It wouldn't have been as significant as a full-on new chapter, but it would have been something. New bosses also just aren't enough in terms of new content. Boss battles can be really fun, and both of these bosses offer unique and interesting challenges that you couldn't find in the original game. But bosses are over quick. It's just one fight. I find this new content to just not be substantial enough. I'm glad it's there. The game is definitely improved by the existence of these two bosses. I was hoping for more. Does that make me entitled? Maybe. Not. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is another Mario remake that released only a few months before the Thousand Year Door on Switch. The Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake included 2 new worlds. Technically 4, but the game does this thing where the second half of the game repeats the biomes of the first half with new levels, so it's only 2 new world themes, but 4 new worlds total. When it was announced that Mario vs. Donkey Kong would be getting new content, I was sure the upcoming Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake would be getting a similar treatment. Now, there is one statement regarding this that I've seen floating around. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a much smaller game than Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, so Thousand Year Door didn't need new content to justify its price tag. There are parts of this I can't dispute. Thousand Year Door absolutely does feel like a complete game, even without new content. I've put more time into it than other games I spent $60 on. This isn't about the price tag. It's about the principle, the missed opportunity of not having extra content. I really want you to ponder this. Since Nintendo did not include a new chapter in the remake, there will never be such an addition to Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Let's say the next Paper Mario used Thousand Year Door's mechanics. That's what we're all hoping for, right? That would be great, but it would be a new game. It would have to have different partners, different game balancing, slight differences in combat. There's never going to be another Thousand Year Door, and a remake is a rare opportunity to put something new into an old game. And that opportunity has now vanished. Completely impossible unless the game gets remade again in another 20 years. I think that's truly sad, and that's why I felt the need to make this video. The remake was incredible. Playing it reminded me just how amazing this game is, and that reminder only makes it all the more disappointing that there isn't that substantial new piece that this game deserved. Now I need to call out the advertising team for this game. Why? Why did you put the Battle Master Toad in the trailers without saying what he does or what he is? You had to have known that that was a fake out, right? Seriously, is no one else annoyed by this? Like, do the people who made this trailer seriously not know how game speculation happened? You can't just throw a mysterious new character into a trailer for a remake and then have that character do nothing more than a minor battle practice mode. You should have just been upfront about it. You should have just put, oh, new battle practice Toad, and that's it. Then we wouldn't have had to rack our brains thinking, ooh, what does this guy do? Oh, I bet it's special. Ooh, they're not telling us. It must be a secret. There was another thing in the trailer that bugged me, and it was them showing this Bowser intermission side-scrolling level. If you've never played this game, this must look awesome, right? I get to play Mario levels as Bowser? What is this? These levels are garbage. They're complete nothing content. There's no challenge, you become invincible almost immediately, and the levels are 5 seconds long. Them advertising this in the trailer made me assume that maybe they were gonna upgrade this part of the game, make it a little less terribly designed. But no, it was unchanged. I took issue with both of these inclusions in the trailer amounting to nothing. I think it shows that Nintendo thinks that just putting out basically the same game with no changes is fine. We're not gonna care about that Toad not really doing much. We're not gonna care that the Bowser intermissions are lame wastes of time. And maybe they're right. I don't see a lot of talk about this, and maybe people don't want to complain about the game because, as we know, Paper Mario could be a lot worse. Just playing anything that isn't the previous 3 games is enough to make anyone want to be nothing but positive about this game. Let me know if you agree that the lack of new content in Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is a flaw in how Nintendo approaches remakes. Or let me know if you think I'm complaining too much. Or if you don't feel like debating, just comment what your favorite chapter in the game is. Hey, if you like this Paper Mario video, maybe you should check out my other Paper Mario video right here. Or if you want to see another one of my videos, check out this video right here. If you like what I do and want to see me do more of it, consider becoming a channel member or checking out my Patreon, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.